This is WPNN for April 24th, 2013. I'm Melanie Mackey.
And I'm Chris Redfern. This semester, students have been given a number of days off due to weather and various sporting events. With the semester coming to a close, some students are feeling the impact of lost class time.
The days off we've had this semester have just caused us to kind of have to really pile on towards the end. And everything's like one after another. Like there's no time to really take in all the information, I don't think, because we have to catch up by the end of the year.
Despite the difficulties of reorganizing classes, teachers feel confident that students will be able to make up for lost time and grades will be normal in comparison to previous years. Penn's track and field team hosted their first ever track meet at Lacey Complex last weekend. WPNN's Taylor Reed has more.
William Penn held its first ever home track meet this past weekend at the Lacey Complex. Sophomore Sade Myers talked about the event.
Well, today's the first track meet for William Penn, mainly because this is our first track. We had the track meet yesterday, but it was really cold, and so this is a multi-event meet. So it's 2 days for the heptathlon and decathlon athletes.
There's a lot of work that goes into hosting a track meet, which made it difficult for Penn to do in previous years.
I think the main reason why is because we didn't have the fundings and the equipment to host a track meet. There's a lot of extra equipment. You have to have hurdles, high jumping pit, steeple. You need to have the timers, the clocks, and you need to have people to volunteer in order for a successful track meet to be hosted.
Funding and volunteers are a necessity, but weather also plays a huge role.
Well, at day one, it was really chilly. We started events at 6:15, and it was just a really cold night last night. But today, it's a nice sunny day, so it definitely turned around for the best, and we're doing pretty well as a team.
Home turf is known as an advantage in most sports, but is it a factor when it comes to track and field?
Yeah, I would say so. We have the wind at our back, which is a definite advantage. We have a lot more people in the stands, of course, so that's always a plus.
William Penn made quite a name for themselves at their first home meet, ending with 14 top 3 finishes. Come out and support the Statesmen at their next home track meet May 4th.
William Penn travels to Indianola Thursday and Friday to compete in the Kip Janvrin Open hosted by Simpson.
Students, staff, and faculty were recognized for their achievements at the annual Honors Awards Banquet on April 13th. The Academic Honors Program gave out awards to individuals within each department on campus that displayed exceptional leadership and participation. The highest honors of the night were the President's Awards. Recipients include students and faculty that went above and beyond their roles as campus leaders. Faculty winners include music instructor Anita Miner, psychology professor Mindy Gramhenners, and history professor David Porter. The Statesmen are gearing up for another football season. Penn will be defending their conference title from last year. The team has been practicing every day for the last 3 weeks. Coach Todd Hafner is optimistic about the group of players he has this fall.
We have kids that are that this is important to them. We have kids that the team is important to them, and when you can combine those two things, it really makes things easy for us.
Hafner says next year's team is looking promising and is excited to see a big senior class returning.
Senior class, we've been waiting for this one for a while. You know, this is a class that we brought in, and we knew at the time was going to be a great recruiting class if they stayed together, and they have.
The Statesmen have a spring game this Friday at the Lacey Complex.
Former ambassador to Mali, Vicki Huddleston, visited the William Penn campus last Wednesday to discuss the current terrorist activity in the Mali region involving al-Qaeda. She also talked about the importance of education in reducing a nation's vulnerability to such terrorist cells and commented on the relationship that William Penn has with Rwanda.
What they've learned here could make a huge difference for Rwanda, not only for its businessmen, but for its political leaders.
Penn continues to build a special relationship with one country in Africa. A memorial was held in Oskaloosa earlier this month to remember the Rwanda genocide of 1994. I was there to cover the event.
First thing I want to make very clear is that genocide is not an African problem.
April 8th was a day of remembering and sharing for William Penn University students and faculty. The group gathered on campus to commemorate the 1994 Rwanda genocide, in which more than 1 million lives were lost in 100 days. The genocide began after the assassination of the president of Rwanda. The government-dominated Hutu tribe began mass murdering the minority Tutsi tribe in an effort to rid Rwanda of the Tutsis. The memorial at Penn featured the documentary As We Forgive and group discussion. I spoke with Penn's Vice President of Government Relations, Steve Noah, about Penn's relationship with Rwanda.
What Rwanda does for us is helps us develop a broader perspective of the world. We help educate Rwandan students.
The relationship between Rwanda and Penn began in 2005, when NOAA began designing a program to bring Rwandan students to the university. Rwandan students who finish with top high school test scores are chosen by the Rwandan Ministry of Education. A select few are given scholarships to schools in the United States. Penn is one of 5 colleges in the U.S. and the only in Iowa, bringing in Rwandan presidential scholars. Rwandan student Esther Lwakabamba decided to come here to William Penn on her own, without the presidential scholarship. She says she appreciates the university's effort to support Rwanda.
But I'm just happy that the university was able to represent our country in such an appropriate and I think touching way.
Lwakabamba was 2 years old and too young to remember the genocide, but she says she has felt the aftermath. During the genocide, her family was in Tanzania and in no immediate danger.
I know a different Rwanda. I know Rwanda where I don't identify myself as a Tutsi or a Hutu.
A Rwanda that has bonded the university and country together. William Penn plans to continue hosting memorials each year. Next year will be the 20th year since the genocide. You may have noticed a new structure being erected outside of the MTC. Though it may look alien, Dr. Jim Hoeksema says it's something we may be seeing a lot more of in the future. WPNN's Lucas Burns investigates.
The sparkling blue panels and large metal structure may be reminiscent of a force field generator, but William Penn's industrial tech program isn't quite that futuristic. The photovoltaic panels, or solar panels, are being formed into a solar array. Given the array's size, its power output may surprise you.
There are 8 panels. Each is rated at 240 watts, which is a total of about 1.9 kilowatts. You know, an incandescent bulb is 100 watts, so it'd be 19 light bulbs or, you know, maybe a toaster.
The class has only been working to build the array outside for the last couple weeks, but the design process has been going on since the beginning of this school year. Students have learned structural design, wiring, and principles of power production, as well as how to work with utilities companies.
There's a fairly detailed, you know, process that you have to go through just to meet the requirements of the utility companies to make sure that what we're producing is compatible with what they're producing and that we don't backfeed the system and electrocute their workers.
Industrial tech student and senior Josh Molinex says that classes like the alternate energy course have helped prepare him for future jobs.
I've taken a look into Mid-American Energy just along the lines of the title is a design distribution technician position. And so what that entails is designing the power grids or power stations.
Solar technology continues to lower in price and improve in efficiency, and Hoeksema thinks it'll likely become more common. If that's the case, Penn students will certainly be ready. For WPNN, I'm Lucas Burns.
In case you were wondering about the odd design of the solar array, Dr. Hoeksema says that it's his attempt at creating a quilt square.
The Academic Resource Center, located in the Student Union, offers students a place to receive academic help. I had a chance to sit down with a couple students making good use of the ARC.
The point of the ARC is to help refine students' skills so that they can get good grades in their classes.
It's quiet here, as you can see, and it's less distraction.
Lately, I have been coming to the ARC a lot more because towards the end of the semester, things can get a little bit hectic, and I like a quiet place to go to and study. So I guess I could say that towards the end of every semester, I kind of come here a lot more.
The ARC has seen an increase in student traffic as finals approach. It's open as late as 10 p.m. Sunday through Friday, and there's always a tutor willing to help.
The university's annual Penstock will be held Friday, May 3rd. The Student Government Association has decided on a superhero theme this year. Students attending will have a chance to win prizes, as well as spend some time with friends before their summer break. Penstock kicks off at 6 p.m. in the PAC. That's all we have for this edition of WPNN. For more stories and information, be sure to check us out on the Statesman Status at statesmanstatus.wordpress.com.
From all of us in the Digital Communication program of William Penn University, thanks for watching.